I'm pissed right now. I'm not gonna lie, dear viewer. I'm not gonna lie. I tried to give Black Ops 7 a chance. I genuinely tried to overlook the blatant flaws of this game just to focus on the positive and enjoy it because they took away skill-based matchmaking. But even that was a blatant lie. So let's jump right in. This game is terrible. I uninstalled it. I canceled Game Pass. I never bought the game. I played it for a week, and I tried so hard to overlook the flaws. But unfortunately, the game is just not playable if you have any form of dignity or self-respect. I'm going to explain why. At its core, the game is a dopamine drip-feeding simulator. So that means it's rigged like a casino, even if the matchmaking isn't necessarily as overbearing as it once was. The game is undoubtedly rigged. And you want to know how I think it's rigged? The spawns. Now, I don't have any patents, I don't have any code or anything to pull up to absolutely prove that I'm right about this. But look, the spawns are most definitely either completely broken or, my personal opinion, rigged. And I would not put this past them in the slightest. Now, what do I mean by rigged spawns? What I mean is the spawns are designed to keep everybody as close to a 1 KD as possible. And they're also designed to make sure that when you're on a streak or that when you're a better player, they are way less predictable. If I get a kill, let's say on Hijacked, and this has happened to me a few times by now, not a few times, 1,000 times. When I'm on Hijacked, in Black Ops 2, you could just go back and forth and keep peeking the spawn and they'll be running out and you can farm them until they catch on and then you have to reposition. So there's an element of skill and awareness that goes into it. However, in this game, once I get 1 or 2 kills in this particular spawn, they'll just stop spawning there. And then what do you know? I'll get shot in the back.
Be detected. They're taking C. Locking down Bravo. B secured. We're losing Charlie. Hostile UAV established above. Losing B.
And it happens consistently. But the best part is that when a player has a negative kill-death ratio, they'll do it to my team, but I will repeatedly spawn and die over and over again in the same location. But the game refuses to do that for them when I'm streaking or going positive. But when somebody else is going negative, I repeatedly spawn in the same place and they can just farm me. And that's fine if I'm getting farmed or spawn trapped, but it's impossible to spawn trap unless you're playing bad. If you're playing good, the game won't let you streak. They'll just spawn behind you and shoot you in the back. Now, spawns are completely and utterly broken on every mode except domination, and even in domination, they're broken. Domination is when it's most obvious it's rigged because they won't spawn on their point. They'll spawn like halfway through the map. And even one time, I witnessed... You know what? I'm not even gonna explain it. Just watch this.
Visual on dumbass.
Like, genuinely, what the hell is that? It's terrible. It's clearly just rigged, horribly designed. It's the worst. I'm telling you it's rigged. Okay, you don't have to believe me, but don't put it past Activision. This game is a casino. They will do anything to make it like a casino. And if you want real torture, play something besides domination. Dude, you'll spawn on either side of the map every other life. It is ridiculous. The entire enemy team will spawn behind you. You won't be able to find anybody. That's what I noticed about these game modes. You can't streak. The spawns are completely random, or maybe even deliberately random, to the point where you just can't go on a decent streak because you will get shot in the back, even though logically the enemy team should not be spawning anywhere near you or anywhere close to your teammates. Now again, the reason that this clip is so crazy is because my entire team is on the opposite side of the map, yet I spawned away from them. Then I go to look because they're on the other side of the map. I'm like, oh, well, there must be the enemy team on this side of the map. But then my teammate spawns on me, and then the enemy team spawns across from me. So it just makes completely no sense why I'm spawning so far away from my team. And if there are squad spawns, which means you just spawn near your teammates, why am I not spawning near my teammates? It is completely and utterly broken and rigged. So that is reason number one. This game genuinely has the worst spawning I've ever seen in Call of Duty's history. Ever. Now, if they just copied Black Ops 2 spawns, we wouldn't have a problem. But of course, they can't do that because the game has to be rigged in some way, shape, or form to keep everyone at bay. Because, you know, the matchmaking is not as harsh. I've always said the spawns were rigged too, but what a coincidence that the matchmaking is toned down, but now the spawns are the worst they've ever been. Doesn't seem like too much of a coincidence, does it? So if you want torture, play something besides domination. And if you want to get pissed off, try to get a kill streak on domination. Oh, another thing. I need a bloodthirsty to get a UAV. And not to mention, the score streaks are actually incredibly weak in this game. You need to work overtime to get anything remotely good. And even if you do, you're not getting that many kills. It's just ridiculous. It's so underpowered. It's impossible to streak, and the streaks aren't worth it anyways. Absolutely ridiculous game design on purpose. Next, most of the maps are very, very mediocre. Some of them just completely suck, and they're not suited for Black Ops 7. Now, notice that there is wall jumping in this game. There is crazy movement in this game. However, there's very minimal opportunities on most maps to actually use this mechanic. Black Ops 3 actually had maps where you could wall jump and fly with the jetpack, and it actually made sense. There were big vertical walls that you could run and jump off. But in this game, the only map that seems genuinely designed for this type of movement is Exposure. Now, I don't want to say much praise in this video because there isn't much to go around, but Exposure is genuinely an excellent map. It's very well suited for the game. I wouldn't mind seeing it remastered because it genuinely is a good map. But that being said, it's the only map that fits the theme. And then Scar and Colossus are good maps, but there's no opportunity to use the movement. Now, what I think happened is they're like, oh, we're going to drop 18 launch maps. It's going to be awesome. But they're just stealing maps that they intended for BO6 and just reskinning them for Black Ops 7. I genuinely think that's what they did, because most of these maps are still tiny. They might have 3 lanes, but they're tiny. There's way too many unmanageable sight lines. The maps just don't play like Call of Duty. They play like a casino. They're all just bigger versions of Shipment. And as I've said before, AI probably designed a majority of Black Ops 6's maps to be like Shipment. That video actually blew up. You should go watch it because I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Now, here are some of the terrible maps. Flagship, Retrieval, Homestead, Toshin, Cortex, and Blackheart. All torturous to play on. They're awful. And I have more self-respect than to put myself through that just for the sake of playing Call of Duty. They are terrible. They're cramped. There's tight spaces. There's only a few gimmicky areas for wall jumping just so they could check the box off that they had it. They're terrible. There's no room for strategy. The sight lines are unmanageable. You just get shot in the back all the time. And not to mention the broken spawns just make it worse. It's torture. Next is the SBMM playlist. And also just the clear presence of SBMM in general. They definitely cranked it up. They promised no SBMM and then they still added a playlist for it. It's most definitely skewing the lobbies and making it harder and slower to matchmake, especially considering they said it would be harder for the system to work like this in a blog post, right? They said that an opt-in, opt-out system would damage the game. And guess what? It's doing just that, but they still did it anyways. There should not be an SBMM playlist. They completely rug pulled us, okay? Also, they clearly cranked up the skill measurement. You want me to prove it? I'm chatting with FaZe Scope in this gameplay. Yeah, FaZe Scope. And it wasn't some fake guy using his name. It was actually FaZe Scope. It was his sniping ability, his voice, okay? It was FaZe Scope. He was prestige like 5. What are the chances that I queue up with FaZe Scope? What are the chances that a sweaty YouTuber that complains about SBMM happens to queue up with the best sniper on the face of the planet? And not just that, the matches are taking way longer to find than in the beta. Now, I think in the beta, there was no SBMM, but now in the real game, there's a higher degree of it to the point where you're not matching with anyone significantly worse or better than you. You're still confined to a little bracket. It's just a little bit broader, and they can call it a day. So the reason I uninstalled and quit this game and didn't even buy it, and I just had Game Pass and I canceled Game Pass, I'm done, is because 1, the spawns are genuinely rigged and they're absolutely terrible and ruin the game. There's no flow, you can't streak, and that's the end of it. I'm not going to spend my time trying to learn unpredictable and rigged spawns. Number 2, most of the maps are mediocre. They're not suited for Black Ops 7. They're probably Black Ops 6 maps, and knowing that, they're probably AI generated, and they're designed for dopamine drip feeding. Number 3, the SBMM playlist is stealing players, and it's ruining the matchmaking pool. And number 4, they cranked up the skill measurement anyways and completely rug pulled us. So I'm done with this game. It is an absolute piece of garbage. It's terrible. And I tried to overlook these flaws, but it just ruins the experience. The game is awful. There's no flow. There's no skill expression. I'm done. The only skill expression there is how twitchy you can be, how fast you can react to somebody showing up behind you because they spawn behind you. I'm sick of it. I'm done. I've never uninstalled a game faster. I've never uninstalled a COD faster. I've usually tried COD for about a month until I start complaining about it, but this one's just obvious. And the biggest culprit is the spawns. The spawns are god-awful. But if you have any self-respect, play something else. This game is a casino. It's designed that way. Okay. Whew, rant over. I was not exaggerating in any of that, by the way. I'm Prime Pete. Take it easy.